What's going on today? Got a very interesting video. Found a section under Title 42. Now, what this is all about is this is how to stop any pattern of practice by the police or any type of law enforcement, and the proper place to complain and things like that. So the only way we're ever going to get any relief from getting beat up in jail and being put in those chairs and tied down for several days and things like that, being punished because you won't cooperate and you have a mind and you have the right to do things and not to do things, and if you object, they're tying people down in chairs naked. Even worse than that, they're beating them up and killing them, and they're getting away with it because no one makes the proper complaint. There's a special section that you can make a complaint and that's what this is about today. So it's about law enforcement misconduct, and this is going to be 42 USC 14141, and you contact the Civil Rights Division, which is at the Department of Justice, the Attorney General's office, and her name is Pamela, and it's at the United States Department of Justice. So what this says is, if you listen very carefully, it says, "It shall be unlawful for any government authority or any agent thereof or any person acting on the behalf of any government authority to engage in a pattern of practice of conduct by law enforcement officers or any officials or employees of any government agency with the responsibility for administrating us." So whenever the Attorney General has reasonable cause to believe that the violations of the paragraph 1 has occurred, the Attorney General, for or in the name of the United States, may in a civil action obtain the appropriate, equitable, and declaratory relief to eliminate the pattern of or practice that they're engaging in, and they're engaging in it, and they're doing it all wrong. And you can't believe anything anymore. They'll, I've had friends report back to me, and it's horrible. I've had friends report to me that because they didn't agree to things and they didn't want to sign things, and they objected, the police put them naked in a chair for 4 or 5 days and put them in a room and never came back in for 4 or 5 days. Now, I can't prove it, but I've had friends tell me that. And I've had friends tell me they've seen people killed in jails. And these officers are getting away with it. These agents are getting away with it in the local counties, even in federal too. I've seen it personally myself when someone had gotten killed in a federal facility. So this is really the remedy, is to contact the Civil Rights Division. Now the phone number is 202-514-3847. So you make the complaint, and I'm sure they're going to have you write something out. And if you call there and you don't act all crazy and you have an organized idea about what happened and you complain quickly, whenever something happens, outside of the police department, inside the police department, the people inside the police department, a lot of times when they get out, they forget about things, or it's a month or 2 later or 6 months later. You have to keep it in your mind that you can call these people. If you don't get out of jail for a while, you can still file and make a complaint. Then you have to be able to write this down, so you're probably better off to write it down and mail it home if you're incarcerated somewhere. Write it down and mail it home so it's fresh on your mind when you get out and you can make this complaint. So once again, matter of fact, I'll just hold it up there. So the section, if you look at this carefully, it has the section there and you can look this up. And it's also codified, it's recodified in 34 USC 12601. And we can take a look at that, and you can see where that right there, you can get that also, and you can look that up. So it's real critical that you keep your head about things, and that everyone that's having a problem where they go beyond their oath and their bond, and they violate the Constitution in a lot of cases. But if you don't make a proper complaint, and we don't get people out there making the proper complaint, nothing's going to happen. It's going to get worse and worse, and it's terrible. Now, you can't go in there and be belligerent and self-centered and a combatant and think that you're doing the okay things, because you're not. You shouldn't fight them. You shouldn't argue with them. You should tell them that you're not a combatant, you're not self-centered, and that you're going to cooperate. I had a personal friend come to me, scared to death, that when he went to court, before he went to court, they took him in a little room, and a whole bunch of officers got in his face, and they said, you're going to do what we tell you to do. You're going to go in there, you're going to go along with everything, you're not going to buck the system, and you're going to take what they give you, or you're going to have a big problem. That's secondhand information. I can't prove it, but if this happens to you, make a complaint. You know, call that number. Once again, it's the Civil Rights Division. You know, this is unfair practices, and they're violating your constitutional rights. They're violating the Constitution, period. So the number again is 202-514-3847. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll talk to you soon.